And so asking me for more money on solely based on the fact that she's not working, I don't think is fair and equitable at this time.
The job that I was working, I lost, and so my income has declined, and I'm asking for an adjustment in the child support amount.
Solely based on the fact that she's not working, I don't think is fair and equitable at this time.
Child support, is that correct?
Correct.
Can you please state the basis for your motion regarding support, ma'am?
The job that I was working, I lost in April, and so my income has declined, and I'm asking for an adjustment in the child support amount due to the changes in income.
Any other proposed changes you're requesting, ma'am?
I don't know if this is something I could do at the same time, but I would like to also adjust the overnights to increase to just adjust to what we have been doing the past couple years. Due to summer performance schedules, the girls have spent a couple extra nights with me. So it would be 4 additional for Effie, our oldest, and 10 additional for Amelia, the youngest, per year.
Okay, that may or may not make much of an impact as
Okay.
far as that little change of overnights, but I will see what Mr. Jarvie's position is regarding the overnights.
Okay.
Your motion also referenced something about childcare.
Oh, they don't need childcare payment anymore because they come home to me after school. So there's no childcare after school anymore. So I wanted that removed. Yes,
And ma'am, are you working then at this time or not working?
I am not. I've been looking for a job all summer. And right now I'm looking into gaining a certificate so that I'll have an additional endorsement either for special education, autism spectrum disorder, or speech language and impairment, or I'm also looking into a K-12 education administration program. So because there's no jobs available in my expertise, my certification within 100 miles, and I wasn't able to apply to the ones that are outside the area because I asked and he said we couldn't move over 100 miles. So I may be becoming a student as soon as in a couple of weeks to gain a certification. So that's additional graduate certificate. So about 21 extra graduate level credits.
And I understand that you're not working, but the court has the obligation to consider whether or not somebody could be working, and you can do what is called imputing income to somebody.
Okay.
If you got a different job, then we would take into consideration what that different job is, if it is a lower paying job. If you're not able to obtain the same type of paying job,
right,
I would certainly consider changing what your monthly amount is, but until we know what you're able to obtain, the court typically goes off of what somebody was previously making, as that is shown as a history of the ability to make that amount. So if you aren't currently working, we don't have the ability to have another job to consider for payment. So at this point, I'm not really inclined to change the income until we know what your next job would pay, whether it's more or less of what you were previously making. As to the childcare, we can certainly lower that. And then you also raised whether or not there were changes in.
Whoa, this is a crucial turning point. The judge just clarified that even if the mom isn't currently employed, the court can impute income based on what she used to earn. In plain terms, that means the court assumes she could still be making that same amount, unless proven otherwise. This often surprises people who think losing a job automatically lowers support payments. Do you think it's fair to hold someone to their past salary if they're genuinely struggling to find work? Let's see how the judge balances compassion with legal consistency.
The income for Mr. Jarvie, is that correct?
Yes, I'm not aware of his income, but I would assume that pay scale's gone up for the teaching schedule.
Mr. Jarvie, would you please raise your right hand? Full truth and nothing but the truth.
Yes.
Anything you want to say in response to her motion regarding child support?
During the summer and early fall, I did forward to her some job opportunities, which I think a lot of them she applied for. I also encouraged her to be a substitute teacher. They're very desperate to find teachers, especially in Gaylord schools where I work. They have a shortage there. She chose not to pursue that as an option. And she could pretty much work every day doing that type of teaching work. In regards to asking me for more money, yes, I do make more than I did 3 years ago. I can confirm that. It's not a whole lot, but it is a little bit. So I would be willing to increase what I pay based on that increase. Other than that, I believe Miss Aber needs to get a job, some kind of job. She doesn't seem to be real eager to pursue anything right now in terms of work. And so asking me for more money on solely based on the fact that she's not working, I don't think is fair and equitable at this time.
And there it is. The dad bluntly says he won't pay more just because she's not working. That's emotionally charged, but it highlights a real legal principle. Child support isn't meant to cover a parent's unemployment, it's about the child's needs and both parents' earning potential. Still, he admits he makes slightly more than before, so he might owe a bit more. How would you feel if your ex refused more support while you were out of work? Angry or understanding? Let's watch how the judge navigates this delicate financial tug of war.
So that's kind of my view on things right now.
Okay. She had also mentioned the overnight number isn't accurate. What is your response to that?
The overnights have been adjusted throughout the year, back and forth. There's some nights, and she didn't mention, where I was hosting one or two of the kids. Either they were sick or something came up with the schedule. So the nights have gone back and forth. I don't really believe that there's a huge difference in the number of nights throughout the year. Again, I don't have a record of that.
All right, thank you. All right, ma'am, is there anything you want to say before I make a decision?
I may
Listen closely here that the mom defends herself, saying she applied to jobs and even interviewed, but claims she was treated poorly and not hired. This is key. Courts don't just look at effort, they look at results. Judges often expect unemployed parents to accept any reasonable job, even if it pays less, just to show they're trying. Do you think that's fair, or should effort alone count? The tension's rising because the court must decide if this is a temporary setback or a lack of effort. Let's see how the judge rules.
am.
Yes.
I did. I applied for all the jobs. I interviewed for the jobs. I actually interviewed for an assistant program at Gaylord Community Schools, and they were extremely rude to me at the interview, and they did not offer me the assistant job when I went into interview for that job. So that's why I haven't gone there yet. It is on my list of places to look into for a substitute position, but right now I'm also looking for a way that I can get the same amount of money that I had been getting instead of going straight to being a substitute teacher.
Okay, thank you. All right, well, given that information as to the motion regarding support, I will indicate a new support recommendation would be prepared based on any changes to the defendant's income. So the front of the court will send you the appropriate financial paperwork to complete that. Ms. Aber has lost her job, is not currently working. At this time, though, I would still continue to impute her income at her.
There it is, the judge makes the call. She's keeping the mom's old income on paper for child support calculations, even though the mom currently earns nothing. This is a big deal legally. It means the system won't reduce support unless the mom proves her next job pays less. It's a way to stop parents from dodging obligations by quitting or staying unemployed. Do you think this protects kids or punishes struggling parents? Either way, the court is standing firm. Now watch as the judge ties up the remaining loose ends.
Last income. Obviously, if she does get a different job, then the matter could be brought before the court again. If that job is paying less money than it was previously calculated at, and the court would consider adjusting the income for her at that time. As to the overnight issues, it does not appear there has been a significant change in the number of overnights the parties are exercising, so I would deny the request to change the overnights. And given Ms. Aber's testimony that the children are not receiving childcare anymore, that should be eliminated from the next child support recommendation. Ms. Aber, do you have any questions?
I do not.
All right, thank you. Mr. Jarvie, do you have any questions, sir?
No.
All right,
And that seals it. The judge denied lowering her child support just because she's unemployed. Instead, they'll recalculate based only on any proven change in the dad's income. And they removed the child care costs since the kids no longer need after-school care. This case shows how child support isn't about sympathy. It's about documented income, not potential excuses. Courts won't lower obligations unless you show solid proof. What do you think? Was the judge too strict or just holding the line? Thanks for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe for more courtroom breakdowns.